Thank you. Good evening. This is a truly wonderful night, wouldn't you say? I can literally feel the excitement in this room. Clap if you can feel it too. The arts and humanities fill us with anticipation and excitement. We never know exactly what we'll see or hear. Even if we know the genre or the artist, the great thing is that art is purely subjective. As it's been said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. At the same time, we create a shared community by experiencing it together. Tonight, we hope to fill you with inspiration and a shared sense of community as we recognize the recipients of this year's Executives Awards and grantees of the Arts and Humanities Council. Both exemplify excellence in our field. Here in Montgomery County, we are truly fortunate to have a rich and varied cultural community of more than 500 arts and humanities organizations and 2,000 individual artists and scholars. We're equally lucky to have the stalwart commitment and support of a county executive and county council that truly champion the arts and humanities, even in the toughest of times. We are extremely grateful that they recognize that an investment in the cultural sector is an investment in our county's economic strength. Thanks to all of you who work, dream, and devote yourselves to the arts and humanities. You provoke us, you inspire our optimism, you move us, and you remind us each day of the humanity that connects us all. I'd also like to thank the immense contribution that the Arts and Humanities Council's board makes to not just AHCMC, but to the entire county. If my fellow board members would please stand. Thank you. Throughout the evening, we'll be treated to even more performances by some of the county's most talented individuals and groups that are sure to delight. Now, I'd like to recognize and thank the Jazz Academy of Music, Maryland Classic Youth Orchestras of Strathmore's Liedergeld String Quartet, and Akhmedova Ballet Academy for sharing their wonderful music and dance with us. We'd also like to thank the Gary Rosenthal Collection for once again designing the exquisite Art Glass Awards that our honorees will receive tonight. Thanks to Montgomery College, their president, Dr. Darian Pollard, Tacoma Park Silver Spring Provost, Dr. Brad Stewart, the Board of Trustees, faculty, and staff for their generosity and support in allowing us to host the awards in this magnificent setting. Now, please let me proudly introduce a man who has helped make Montgomery County one of our country's most vibrant arts destinations, our very own county executive, Ike Leggett.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really delighted to be here today. And welcome to our annual Excellence in the Arts and Humanities Awards program. Once again, we are pleased to hold this event in Tacoma Park at Montgomery College's Cultural Arts Center. Isn't this a remarkable place to hold this event? Let's give Montgomery College a round of applause for being such gracious hosts. This is one of my favorite events of the year. Tonight, Catherine and I are here to honor and to recognize our 9 honorees and to thank the broad community of artists and people who have supported art for so many years. These individuals have made remarkable contributions to advance the arts and humanities in Montgomery County. They truly deserve our praise and our admiration. Each of these honorees, in one way or the other, has made the arts and humanities a lifelong passion. Without their tireless energy, dedication, and devotion, Montgomery County would not be the cultural hotspot that it is today. Your contributions are varied, raising money for a new visual arts center, teaching and helping children, or lending outstanding support to our outstanding arts organizations. On behalf of over 1 million residents in Montgomery County, I salute each and every one of you for your contributions. I've always believed that the public investment in the arts is crucial. The arts and humanities drive our county's economy, but they also uplift the community's spirit. This is why I recommended and was happy that the County Council approved more than $5 million overall in the arts and humanities in Montgomery County. That's a round of applause for all of us. In addition to the direct monies in terms of grants for the arts and humanities, we've also approved a new addition, and that is a $1 million addition for capital programs each year. And last year we had over $850,000 for capital programs, facilities in Montgomery County. These investments in our community to help grow the economy in Montgomery County, and they also provide ways to make a serious impact overall. But it is much more than just dollars and cents. A strong arts presence is vital to our quality of life in Montgomery County. The arts and humanities have the power to transform and uplift our lives. Over the years, Montgomery County has established itself as a cultural arts destination, offering top-notch entertainment with state-of-the-art venues and flourishing art. Our entertainment districts have become hubs for community engagement and activity. I want to congratulate all of the awardees tonight who are honored. You have given and continue to give so much of yourself to enrich our residents and, again, the overall quality of life in Montgomery County, and really not just Montgomery County, but throughout the entire region. As your county executive, and you may recall last year, I think I stated this, that I intended to come back again as your county executive. So I'm delighted to say again that as your county executive, I will continue my efforts of the past 8 years to support arts in Montgomery County. This is a major priority for me, and I know it is also for the County Council, and I certainly know it is for my wife. And we must not forget that much of what we've accomplished thus far has been made possible by notable continued contributions, including corporations, foundations, and individuals. To all of our private sector partners, thank you for continuing to support the arts and humanities throughout Montgomery County. To our audience, Catherine and I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight and for recognizing the valuable contributions that the arts and humanities have made to our county's quality of life. And I said, Catherine, and let me just give you just a little indication of her remarkable accomplishments and dedication, not only to the arts, but so many other worthy causes in Montgomery County. Just recently, we had an opportunity to get away on a short vacation to celebrate her birthday. And I decided to take a photograph of her, lying on the beach, looking out over the beautiful waves and the sunset. And she had a telephone, talking, and I heard her talk about the executives' ball, and we needed to step up to raise more monies. If that's not commitment and dedication, I don't know what is. She has made a remarkable difference. And so when you re-elected me as county executive, more importantly, you ensured that you had a partner and a first lady who truly values art. My wife, our first lady, Catherine.
Thank you. Wow. Our county executive and a guy who loves the arts and humanities. Woo! He told that secret. Good evening and welcome to our annual Excellence in the Arts and Humanities Awards program. I am always delighted to come out and to celebrate the arts and humanities, and especially to recognize some very special people who have made a tremendous difference in our community. Again, as Ike mentioned, we are pleased to hold this event here in Tacoma Park at the college. It's a beautiful setting. It's just wonderful, and it exemplifies the arts in our community. This is indeed one of my favorite events of the year. I get to stand up here and pay tribute to some unbelievable, talented, and generous people and organizations. Tonight, I am ecstatic. I am overwhelmed by the partnerships that we have had, the contributions of so many people in our community, and just to be here to celebrate all that is done in this Montgomery County. We live in a special place, a place that really understands the value of arts and education. So this is October. It's the National Arts and Humanities Month, the nation's largest celebration of the arts and humanities. What better time to celebrate than tonight? Here in Montgomery County, we're celebrating all the way to Monday night, December 7th, at the Bethesda North Marriott Conference Center for our 30th annual Executives Ball. I am trusting that each and every one of you will be there to celebrate. The theme is One Enchanted Evening, and it promises to be a spectacular, engaging, phenomenal evening. Please plan to attend. The monies from the Executive Ball go to arts and education, and we know how important arts and education is in our community. We sincerely thank the corporate and private donors that are solely responsible for funding the ball. We couldn't do it without the public partnership. So I want you to look at the stage and see how many partners we have. Our platinum sponsor, Comcast, our gold sponsors, many of them giving $10,000, a whole bunch of money. Our silver sponsors, of course, you're going to see Ike and me there, of course. We love the arts and humanities. Our bronze sponsors, we are so happy that so many public partners believe in the arts and humanities. I mean, we just live in a very, very special, special place. The bronze sponsors, and now we'll move to our friends. I want to applaud our partners. Please help me. Now I want to recognize our elected officials in the audience. Clearly, our county executives believes in the arts and humanities, but so does our council, and so do our elected officials. We wouldn't be such a great place if that wasn't so. First, members of our county council who join us on stage later in the program. We have Council Member Sidney Katz. Sidney, please stand to be recognized. Council Member Mark Elrich, and Council Member Nancy Florine. And of course, we have to recognize Tom Hucker. Please stand, Tom. Please. Thank you. We'd like to also mention a person who absolutely positively supports us every step of the way, and that's the President of the Council, George Leventhal. I'd like to recognize now our state and federal representatives who are here tonight. Maryland State Delegate Ana Sol Gutierrez. Anna. And Ms. Catherine Provost on behalf of Congressman Van Hollen. Thank you. I'd also like to welcome Mayor Deborah Beers of Glen Echo. Mayor, thank you. In addition, I'd like to recognize the selection committee who had the challenge, and it was really a challenge because we had 89 nominees in selecting only 9 honorees tonight from so many outstanding entrants. So, would the selection committee please stand and be recognized and thanked? Thank you. Now you will experience a wonderful evening. Sit back and enjoy. We'll be back later. Thank you.
Thank you, Ike and Catherine. Can we give them another round of applause? To introduce our first honoree, please welcome Linda Adams.
As the Executive Director of Youth Art for Healing, Jan Papermeister has integrated the visual arts into healthcare environments, providing a sense of comfort, inspiration, and healing for patients and their loved ones. A registered nurse and artist, Jan has applied research that shows that bringing the arts into healthcare environments promotes a healing atmosphere in order to support the physical, mental, and a healing atmosphere that helps to our patients in a recovery mode through the artworks that are provided by these local youths. Since 2012, Youth Art for Healing has worked with 17 Montgomery County public schools to bring hundreds of works of arts created by 564 students into 5 healthcare locations. While they're sharing their talent, their time, and their creativity, these students have become empowered with the knowledge that their arts can inspire, comfort, and heal people experiencing difficult times and extreme hardship. Youth Art for Healing provides students during their challenging years as adolescents with an opportunity to develop empathy and discover that they can truly make a difference in the lives of others. Under her leadership, Youth Art for Healing is building and strengthening relationships between Montgomery County Public Schools, healthcare organizations, community businesses, sponsors, and supporters. So on behalf of the art educators in Montgomery County, I am honored to introduce the recipient of this year's Community Award, Jan Papermeister.
Thank you so much. I am honored and humbled to receive this year's Community Award. Youth Art for Healing was inspired by my son, Matt, and my daughter, Sarah, and it is truly a community effort. As my dad always said, there is no I in team. So many people have been a part of the Youth Art for Healing community. A few key people I would like to recognize: Becky Wood, Fisher House manager, and Jean Diamond, Walt Whitman High School art teacher. They believed in and supported this idea before Youth Art for Healing was born. My husband Chuck and dear friend Polly Chandler, they're pillars of support with their faith, their love, and their guidance. My SCORE mentors, John Hawker and Dee Rogers. They guided me in establishing a solid nonprofit foundation for Youth Art for Healing. Youth Art for Healing board member and art advisor Carol Berman and her husband Gary. They kindly launched Youth Art for Healing and give in so many ways as Youth Art for Healing grows and flourishes. Our wonderful school, healthcare, and business partners, our donors, our supporters, we are all working together, focused on our mission. It's such a pleasure working with the art teachers. I greatly admire and respect these dedicated, caring professionals. Jackie Armstead Thomas, Montgomery Blair High School art teacher, she shared, and I quote, "Youth Art for Healing is just a win-win, win-win-win for everyone. It's a win for the hospital, it's a win for the students, it's a win for the teacher, it's a win for the patients and families." And the students, they are amazing. They give their time, their talent, their heart, and their soul while creating their uplifting works of art. Montgomery Blair High School students shared, "With this project, many of us found a new reason to pursue the arts. It is about using our artistic ability to bring a positive influence to our community." I'm so impressed and inspired by these students. It is because of this community effort that Youth Art for Healing is able to give students an opportunity to create beautiful works of art that transform the healthcare environment, bringing smiles and comfort, inspiration and healing to patients and their loved ones and healthcare professionals. Thank you again so very much.
Congratulations, Jan. To introduce the recipient of the Volunteer Award, I'd like to introduce Katie Borner.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here. Dwayne Winters has made a major contribution to the cultural fabric of Montgomery County through his longtime volunteer service in support of 3 major Montgomery County cultural institutions: the Washington Folk Festival, Glen Echo Park, and the National Council for the Traditional Arts. Dwayne is a longtime volunteer as the festival coordinator and technical director for the Washington Folk Festival. He oversees all of the technical, planning, and operational aspects of the event each year. The Washington Folk Festival attracts approximately 10,000 visitors to Glen Echo Park. Dwayne's unparalleled event management and technical expertise, paired with his remarkable passion and dedication, ensure that audiences enjoy an exceptional festival experience. His service affects hundreds of thousands of Montgomery County and Washington area residents by making traditional culture, music, dance, storytelling, and crafts more accessible through the Washington Folk Festival, and also in the past through the Washington Irish Folk Festival. Through his volunteer work with the National Council for the Traditional Arts and the National Folk Festival, he has engaged many more people across the country. In addition to serving audiences, Dwayne has helped to promote thousands of local artists, and he has mentored a strong cadre of local volunteers. I personally am very grateful for his service on the Glen Echo Park board for many years also. I'm honored to introduce the recipient of this year's Volunteer Award, Dwayne Winters.
Katie, thank you for the great introduction. My sincere thanks to County Executive Leggett, to Catherine Leggett, to the Arts and Humanities Council of Montgomery County. I'm deeply moved by the honor and attention that you've paid me here. As a volunteer, my primary job is being a volunteer conductor. And like a conductor of a large orchestra, if you don't have musicians, you're just a guy waving his hands in the air. And there are times in which I felt like that guy waving his hands in the air. But I recognize very much, to the extent that I've been successful, it's primarily been because of the strength of the team of folks that I've had to work with. And I want to acknowledge some of those. This includes the Folklore Society of Greater Washington. For 35 years, the Folklore Society has helped produce the Washington Folk Festival at Glen Echo Park. It's the only event of its kind which celebrates the full cultural diversity of the Washington area in terms of traditional art and traditional culture. The National Council for Traditional Arts, which have their offices just right down the street, for 75 years have put on the National Folk Festival, the longest running folk festival in the United States. With the Washington Folk Festival being held at Glen Echo, I've also been able to work with Glen Echo Park Partnership for Arts and Culture, with CATHY, with the National Park Service, and with Montgomery County. And all of these institutional relationships are what have made these events successful. Most importantly, I've had the pleasure to work with all the volunteers and staff of the Washington Folk Festival and the production team for the National Folk Festival. And the work that these folks have done is truly a monumental accomplishment, and this award is honoring their work. So I congratulate you, I know many of you are there in the audience, that this is your award. Just one other thought. All of these festivals have one common central theme. They celebrate traditional culture. Now, for those of you who might not be familiar with traditional culture, you might think that this is culture that's frozen or locked in time. This is a common misunderstanding. Traditional culture is not culture that's locked in time. Rather, it's culture that has stood the test of time. It has been practiced and modified and honed to become an ever-increasingly powerful artistic expression, an expression which goes straight from the eye to the ear to the malignant in the brain, so that it has some of the most powerful emotional content. This evolution takes place over decades or centuries and results in artistic expressions that evoke very, very strong emotional responses to the audiences. I found that the informal nature of the folk festival creates an environment in which this form of art is most accessible to a public, and particularly to a public that may not be familiar with traditional art. I find the interaction between a really emotionally potent art and an unfamiliar audience to be truly magical, as they have this aha moment. And this magic is why so many of us volunteer. We volunteer to create the setting in which this magic can occur. You can experience some of this magic yourself. Come to the Washington Folk Festival. It's in Glen Echo. Did you know that? It's the first week in June, and it's free. We'll give you one hell of a magic show. Hope to see you there. Thank you all for your attention, and thank you very much for this award.
Congratulations, Dwayne. Now please sit back and enjoy a presentation by visual artist Cynthia Farrell Johnson.
Good evening, and thank you, Montgomery County Arts and Humanities Council, for this opportunity to share some of my work. Our world is full of rich, beautiful colors. My goal as an artist is to record beauty as I see it, using the most colorful palette possible. Perhaps it comes from my having a tropical spirit. As a first-generation American, there were always stories being told of faraway places in our house: Jamaica, Barbados, Panama. Although I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, I never liked winter and longed to live in a tropical climate. It was not until my first travel overseas to Germany in a junior summer abroad program that I realized I could do just that. I began searching for other opportunities as soon as I returned home. Fortunately for me, I was accepted into the U.S. Foreign Service and spent 25 years running cultural diplomacy programs in Africa and Latin America. My first overseas assignments were in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, and Cotonou, Benin. The rich cultural traditions and vibrant colors of the region influenced many of my paintings during that period. I was particularly fascinated with the textile traditions of West Africa. From there, I went to Latin America. It was a joy to finally live in the land of my parents' birth, Panama. But I also had wonderful experiences in Uruguay and El Salvador. But all good things must come to an end, and closing out my Foreign Service career finally gave me an opportunity to devote more time and attention to my art. Soon I was busier than when I was working full-time as a diplomat. One day, when a friend of mine said she was amazed that I was able to do so many things and still stay sane, I glibly told her that I just say a daily prayer to Our Lady of Perpetual Exhaustion and all is well in the world. It was a joke, but the more I thought about it, the more I felt like this really should be a painting. Perpetual activity also resulted in my being awarded an Arts and Humanities Council Individual Artist Grant to create a body of work celebrating 10 jazz artists: Dee Dee Bridgewater, Ella Fitzgerald, Don Cherry, and Randy Weston are a few of the artists in this group. The Arts and Humanities Council grant also allowed me to learn new skills, like making paper and learning how to do block printing in classes at Pyramid Atlantic just up the road on Georgia Avenue. It is great to live in a county that not only celebrates the arts, but supports it in so many ways. I grew up surrounded by beautiful music and art, and hope that I have successfully translated the joy that these jazz musicians brought to my life through these paintings. I hope that these images inspire you to explore your own creativity. And thank you, Montgomery County.
I felt the bite at age 16.
I felt the bite at age 28.
I felt the bite at age 4.
I felt the bite at age 13.
We've all felt the bite of Charcot-Marie Tooth, and we are fighting back.
Charcot-Marie Tooth is the most commonly inherited nerve disease. It affects the hands, arms, feet, and legs of approximately 1 in 2,500 people in the United States. If you or a loved one has CMT, find out about the latest research and educational tools that can enhance your life or the lives of the ones you love. Go to cmtausa.org and help take a bite out of CMT.
The comments at the bottom further discussion, and I've gotten to meet a lot of people that way and learn a lot from my readers.
Most of the time it's good, sometimes it's not so good.
I have an audience that I've never had before, and that's what I need. I want to feel like people are welcome and people are coming in to the classroom when they're reading this.
Create a web presence and share your passion by blogging at mymcmedia.org.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. From Adventure Theater, MTC, to the Writer Center, organizations funded by Montgomery County through the Arts and Humanities Council have a tremendous impact on the cultural and economic landscape of our county and make this one of the most livable communities in America. Councilmember Katz.
In the general operating support grant category, organizations focus on youth and family theater performances and high-quality pre-professional training, present professional contemporary dance, host residencies for dance artists, and provide year-round symphonic performances and master classes from around the world. Organizations in this category also support adults living with severe mental illness and children with autism, serve as an incubator for creative research, enhance Montgomery County Public Libraries, serve as leading multidisciplinary arts venues, and collaborate with the National Park Service.
We also support the largest music education center in the region, theater companies that teach improvisation and stage combat, nationally recognized institutions for classical ballet training, the region's largest public access station, and the county's official historical archives.
Montgomery County is also the home to an award-winning 77-year-old professional theater, a unique workshop and studio for printmakers, and one of the region's most beautiful multidisciplinary arts center.
Funding in this category also helps support affordable quality artist studios, photographic and artistic education, a community music school, free performances for children and adults, the creation of literary works, and the celebration of cultural traditions that have bound communities together over the ages and across the globe. As I invite my colleagues from the large organization general operating support category to stand, please give them a warm round of applause for all they do to make our county vibrant. You all look marvelous.
Two major categories for tonight are advancement grants and capital improvement grants. These two categories help arts and humanities organizations innovate and maintain the standard of excellence we have come to expect in our county. Advancement grants and capital improvement grants also help leverage private sector funding, something critically important for our long-term vitality.
Support in this category helps organizations upgrade strategic plans, purchase and install professional lighting and sound equipment, enhance administrative teams, develop long-range site and business plans, rebrand, and invest in technology.
As you can see, these are genuine business needs that, once implemented, would strengthen any business. Please congratulate all of our colleagues for all of their impactful work that fortifies our county's economy in the advancement grant and capital improvement grant category. Please stand. I'd like those organizations to please stand. Thank you.
Along with the planning and business enhancements that are made possible by advancement grants, capital improvement grants are intended for facility construction or improvements, new construction, expansion of a project, renovation of an existing structure or physical plant, repairs critical to an organization's mission. For fiscal year 16, $624,923 was awarded.
Grants given in this fiscal year will support structural improvements to studios, digital broadcast facilities, building repairs, help decrease energy usage, weatherize buildings, install new roofs, rebuild the front entrance for handicapped access, and install an elevator. Organizations that receive capital improvement grants are doing all they can to make their organizations strong, accessible, and energy efficient. Please give these organizations a wholehearted round of applause.
Thank you, Council Members Sidney Katz and Mark Elrich, for all that you do for the Arts and Humanities Council in Montgomery County. Now to present the recipient of the Patron Award, please welcome Alice Snappy.
Good evening. I'm Alice Snappy, the Executive Director of the Metropolitan Center for the Visual Arts, affectionately known as VisArts. It is my deep and heartfelt pleasure tonight to talk about Bob Buchanan, my friend, mentor, champion, and leader extraordinaire. As the CEO of Buchanan Partners, a full-service real estate development company, Bob Buchanan has been a strong advocate for the visual arts in Montgomery County. Bob became involved in VisArts more than a decade ago as the organization was entering into a large capital campaign to build out space in the Rockville Arts and Innovation Center. Bob and his wife Sharon, who's I know here somewhere, are lifelong lovers, art lovers, collectors, and supporters of the arts throughout the entire metropolitan area, And Bob worked tirelessly to see that Montgomery County would have a first-rate visual arts center to serve its citizens. I can tell you that without Bob's leadership, business expertise, motivational guidance, and financial support, VisArts would not exist today. Very few organizations can point to one person and say the words, "Without him, we wouldn't be here." But I can say that about Bob. He epitomizes what we all aspire to be: honesty in his words, integrity in his actions, and commitment to the ideals he holds dear. Not only is Bob our past board president, he is involved throughout the region as president of the 2030 Group, an association of Washington metropolitan area business leaders focused on regional decision-making and solutions. While I am delighted to see Bob honored tonight for his generous support of the arts, his other past honors include the 2015 Signatures of Loudoun Vision in Design Excellence Award and being named to the Washington Business Journal's Power 100 list. It is my great honor to introduce you to my friend and respected colleague and the recipient of this year's Individual Patron Award, Bob Buchanan.
I like the fact you're a lover.
Always a little humor.
Well, my wife and I just celebrated our 50th anniversary, so we're almost lifelong lovers. It kept us going, that's for sure. I'm standing here on behalf of the team at VisArts that was the inspiration for any patron efforts I may have made over the years. They've been a stalwart supporter for the arts, innovator for the arts, and over this past year, over 34,000 residents of Montgomery County and this region have enjoyed a creative experience through the arts on behalf of VisArts. And it's their ability to stay ahead of the curve, to be innovative, and to make arts available to people with interests of all levels. Come to VisArts and get a good experience, whether you're an aficionado of the arts or whether you want to learn, you want to enjoy the cutting edge, come to VisArts. So on behalf of the team, if they'd stand and be acknowledged, I'm here on your behalf. Thank you very much.
Here to introduce the recipient of the Outstanding Artist Award is Tiffany Carson.
A sought-after choreographer, dancer, educator, and arts advocate, Christopher K. Morgan is truly an outstanding artist in our community. A resident of Montgomery County since 2009, his career in all of these aspects of dance spans more than 20 years. Since founding Christopher K. Morgan and Artists in July 2011, Mr. Morgan has established a nationally recognized dance company based here in Montgomery County, and his choreography has been presented in 18 countries on 5 continents. A sought-after educator, Mr. Morgan has taught at over 20 institutions of higher education and is currently the artist in residence in the School of Theater, Dance, and Performance Studies at the University of Maryland and director of the internationally renowned Dance Oh My International Dance Collective. Morgan is a 2011 and 2014 Maryland State Arts Council Individual Award winner, the recipient of a 2013 Native Arts and Cultures Fellowship in Dance, as well as a 2010 Metro DC Dance Award for Outstanding New Work. It is my deepest honor to present Christopher K. Morgan with the Outstanding Artist Award.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's so wonderful to be embraced by your community in this way. So I'm really grateful to everyone, both the county executive and his wife, this amazing arts council that supports arts and humanities in this community, and everyone who makes that happen. It's really special to have this award presented to me by Tiffany, who has been tirelessly working by my side for the last 4 years. As all of you know, and as Bob just so beautifully said, it's never one person that makes any of it happen for any of these organizations. So to have someone who has tirelessly cleaned floors, washed leotards, proofread grants, and done all of that work from the glamorous, like that top photo, which is of her work, to the not so glamorous by my side is amazing. A couple weeks ago, we celebrated our 5th anniversary concert at the American Dance Institute here in Rockville, not far away, part of our Montgomery County cultural fabric. And after the performance, someone came up to me and said, "Hey, are you going to be bringing this show to New York?" And I thought, what an interesting first reaction. And I also thought, sure, I would love to, but also, isn't it great that this is happening here? That this community supports quality art. I see other artists in front of me from my field and many other fields that are doing top-notch work. And I just think it's so inspiring and exciting to be part of such a vibrant cultural fabric that's here. I just want to thank the American Dance Institute, City Dance, Dance Exchange, 3 of many, many amazing organizations that have reached out and supported me both personally and as a company. The Strathmore Music Center, where I was housed through City Dance for a little while. All of these wonderful places and all of the wonderful work that you do. Thank you so much for this honor. It's a pleasure.
Grants to mid-size arts and humanities organizations support high-quality programs, the improvement of management skills, the purchase of equipment, or capital improvements. For the second half of fiscal year 2015 and the first half of fiscal year 2016, a total of $514,716 was given in awards to 27 organizations in this category. Grants to mid-size organizations do great things, such as support a Latin dance competition, real-life job training skills, career guidance, and intensive visual art instruction to youth ages 14 to 21, regular, high-quality participatory arts programs for seniors, 4 inclusive theater companies featuring adult actors with and without intellectual disabilities and autism, stellar, historically significant performances, superb soloists, applied scholarly research in concerts, large-scale cantatas, and new choreographed works. These grants will also support a series of screenings and interactive workshops showcasing stories of people, places, and organizations right here in the county. A main stage season that taps into the social, political, and ethical questions of contemporary life. The engagement of Montgomery County youth, especially immigrant communities, to help them express social community issues through the use of video, photography, and graphic art. Music education programs, after-school and homeschool students' theater classes and performances, and the management of daily operations.
To help organizations stay current, these grants will help them embrace current technology, improve dark rooms, replace aging classroom chairs, enhance gallery lighting systems, and produce interior and exterior wayfinding signage. In addition, these grants support large-scale works of opera, musical theater, and oratorial performance programs with accomplished vocal and instrumental students. Mid-sized organizations are rapidly growing in Montgomery County, and like their peers in other grant categories, they provide a fast-growth, dynamic industry cluster, critical ingredients for innovative places and community revitalization. Join us in celebrating these wonderful and diverse organizations.
Would organizations in the mid-size category please stand? Grants to small arts and humanities organizations are intended to support the presentation of high-quality programs to the public. For the second half of fiscal year 15 and the first half of fiscal year 16, a total of $72,338 was given in awards to 21 organizations. Grant funds will be used to present a special on Zelda Fitzgerald, pay sound tech costs and rental fees, underwrite a youth chamber music festival, pay for instrument rental and musicians' fees, and support an evening chorale concert of diverse Hanukkah-themed repertoire. Let's give these fantastic small organization recipients a big round of applause, and I invite you to stand.
We are proud of the diversity of work created by the emerging and burgeoning organizations throughout Montgomery County. Organizations like these help us grow the creative capacity of our great county. Now please sit back and enjoy a performance by Sutradhar Institute of Dance and Related Arts.
Cultural grants are a new grant category that we just began last year, and we couldn't be prouder. They create impact in the Wheaton community and provide cultural opportunities. Artists and scholars working in Wheaton received 12 grant awards totaling $90,000 for several public-private partnerships. For such initiatives as the creation of a permanent exterior mosaic mural for the Washington Music Center, an outdoor music and dance festival celebrating Brazilian culture, the Wheaton Family Theater series of interactive plays, a series of pop-up maker fairs, a photography series and public art exhibition exploring urban nature in the Wheaton Cultural Business District, and the premiere of a new theatrical play at the Randolph Road Theater. If any of the Wheaton area cultural grant recipients are in the audience, I invite you to please stand. You look marvelous.
Our Artists and scholars in the community grants support a variety of programs that bring high-quality artists and scholars to community-based audiences and to populations that have fewer opportunities to participate in programs available to the general community. For the second half of fiscal year 15 and the first half of fiscal year 16, a total of $11,925 was awarded to 8 individuals in our artists and scholars in the community grants category. 5 artists receive FY16 Round 1 artists and scholars in the community grants for such initiatives such as movement workshops and professional dance performances for seniors and their families at Homecrest House. A performance that will engage adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities supported by CHI centers, hands-on printmaking and mixed media art sessions for Easter Seals participants, a series of visual art workshops with inmates suffering from mental illness in the Crisis Intervention Unit at Montgomery County's Correctional Facility, and hands-on animation workshops for children during winter break in 5 Montgomery County public libraries. Please join me in congratulating and thanking these artists and scholars for their impactful work, and if any one of you are here in the building, please stand.
Arts Integration Residency in the Schools grants support individual teaching artists trained in curriculum-based arts integration techniques who collaborate with a classroom teacher during the school day. For the second half of fiscal year 15 and the first half of fiscal year 16, a total of $14,761 was given in awards to 6 schools. 3 artists received FY16-1 Arts Integration Residency in the Schools grants, and funds will be used to implement a creative drama residency promoting reading comprehension and oral language skills for 4th grade ELL, ESOL students, to create a graphic novel on the causes and effects of a turning point in the civil rights and labor movement, and for a cross-curriculum project to examine land use in the Wheaton community. As I invite my colleagues to stand, please give them a warm round of applause for all they do to make our county and schools vibrant.
Congratulations to these grantees. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here to introduce one of the recipients of the Education Award is Liz Oppenheim.
Good evening. In 2002, Paul Carr founded the Jazz Academy of Music to provide learning and development opportunities for local students through the performance and preservation of jazz. The Jazz Academy hosts summer camps and jazz ensembles for kids throughout the year. More importantly, Paul has changed the lives of hundreds of his students by selflessly sharing his passion and knowledge of music, and by nurturing the love of jazz, discipline, teamwork, and creativity. A kid can come to the Jazz Academy not even being able to play an instrument, and I know that because my daughter showed up one day and faked it. Paul Carr, if that wasn't enough, Paul Carr also promotes jazz music and supports emerging jazz artists of all ages as the executive and artistic director of the Mid-Atlantic Jazz Festival, which enjoys over 2,000 attendees in rain, snow, and ice. Paul has received a number of awards. He was acknowledged in 2012 by the ABC Channel 7 News when he was selected as the Harris Hero for his amazing work with music students across the area. In March 2014, Paul received the prestigious Howard University Benny Golson Jazz Master Award for his outstanding work as a performer, presenter, and educator. And in his free time, he also plays all around the county. I'm honored to introduce one of the recipients of this year's Education Award, Paul Carr, one of my heroes.
Thank you, Liz, for that great introduction. Sabra still has to practice tonight, okay? But I would like to say thank you to the Arts and Humanities and Mr. and Mrs. Leggett for this great honor. I'm actually, I just apologized to Ms. Leggett because when she called, I can't even remember after she told me about the award. I don't even remember the rest of the conversation. And when I put the phone down, I said, "What just happened?" You know. But the Jazz Academy of Music wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the parents. The parents of the Jazz Academy, present and past. The parents are really cool people. And I just also want to acknowledge our only full-time employee, Iva Ambush, who wears about 20 different hats. And I want to acknowledge my family that's here, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, all the way up from Tennessee. They drove 14 hours to share this moment with me. Also, my sister. My sister-in-law, Valerie Green, and my whole family, they come up every year to volunteer for the Mid-Atlantic Jazz Festival, if you heard. We do that on President's Day weekend every year in February. Rain, sleet, snow, and all that. So the whole family. So when you come to the festival, you'll see that my whole family there volunteering all day long and for the whole weekend. Also, my amazing wife, who runs about 4 different companies, and it was through her persistence and that I even started the Jazz Academy. I came home one day and she says, "You're going to start your own Jazz Academy." I said, and some of you guys who are married, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, I said, "Yes, dear." And my mother, who was a teacher and loved jazz, and I inherited her love for jazz. It got instilled in me. And I just want to say that jazz is America's greatest gift to the world. And I also want to thank some of my friends from the Mid-Atlantic Jazz Festival that are here too. How you doing? Anyway, so I have seen the power of jazz when it's taught and presented in the right spirit. I've just seen the power of it. So support jazz and support kids in education. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Paul. And now to introduce our second recipient of the Education Award is Melissa Regan.
Good evening. I am Melissa Regan. I am a proud parent of children in the Seneca Valley cluster. Randy Levy is an innovative public school music teacher and powerful advocate for arts education in Montgomery County Public Schools. 11 years ago, Randy launched the Clemente Music Rocks rock band program at Roberto Clemente Middle School in Germantown, the first of its kind in the state of Maryland. The program allows students to study the history of popular music, master a rock band instrument, and play in a band in school free of charge. Clemente's whole music program has over 60% of the student body registered in a music class, which beats the national average by 40%. The impact that this program has on middle schoolers is so great that recently a documentary film was produced about this program. In 2010, Ms. Levy created the MCPS Rock in Schools program, and today 4 schools now offer rock band as part of their curriculum, with additional after-school rock band programs thriving at multiple schools. These programs and classes give an opportunity for many students to learn and play instruments in a rock band that were typically only available to those with financial means. Ms. Levy's past honors include being named a top 50 music educator who makes a difference by Student Band and Orchestra magazine, the Washington Post's Agnes Meyer Outstanding Teacher nominee, and Most Hopeful Teacher of 2015 as conferred by her own colleagues at Roberto Clemente Middle School. It is my honor to introduce Randy Levy, also a recipient of this year's Education Award.
I'm deeply honored to receive the Executive Award for Excellence in the Arts. I feel extremely blessed to be numbered among such accomplished individuals who are making such a huge impact around Montgomery County. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Leggett, for presenting this award to me. Thank you, Mrs. Leggett, for the tremendous role model and mentor you are to so many young women around the county and the huge impact that you're having on our young women. Thank you also for how in the past you've shared Thank you for how you've shared in the past how, as a little girl, playing clarinet made such a big impact on you and how music education was important in your life. I want to thank Dr. Sean Joseph, Deputy Superintendent of Prince George's County Public Schools. Sean hired me 11 years ago at Clemente. He was the principal. And in my interview, he took my resume and pushed it to the side. And he said, we can teach you the pedagogy. Tell me about the person, Randy Levy. Well, that really stayed with me, and Sean, I want to thank you for that moment because you taught me then, put people first, and that stayed with me ever since. So thank you, Sean, for all the guidance and support you've shown me over the years. Thank you, Jeannie Dawson, MCPS Director of Leadership Development. You were my assistant principal and also a former teacher, music teacher at Clemente. Thank you for mentoring me and patiently guiding me through that first crazy year of being a middle school teacher. Thank you for also still remaining a friend and supporter. Thank you, Sue DeGraba, MCPS CFO. Thank you for investing your time in our Rockin' Schools program, helping to spread it across Montgomery County. Without Sue, it would have probably never gotten beyond the doors of Clemente as quickly as it has. So thank you, Sue, for your passion and for your love of seeing kids succeed through Rock Band. Thank you to my former Clemente administrators, Khadijah Barkley and Doug Nelson, for saying yes to my crazy ideas time after time and helping me to make those things soar. We miss you. You too, Rob. Thank you to Adam and Alan Levin at Washington Music Center for believing in the Rock Band program when it was just an idea. Thank you for the financial investment that you made and especially for your friendship. You continue to help me to be able to dream and help us to soar with our program and for saying yes to all of the dreams that we have. Thank you so much. Thank you to Katie Murphy and Linda Adams for opening the MCPS curriculum door to the innovation of Rock Band. It's really making a difference in so many kids' lives, and being able to offer Rock Band at school for free, what an awesome opportunity that is, that anybody can take it. It's not a pay-to-play system. Anybody can take it, and so it's exciting to see that innovation happen in music education. Thank you to all my friends who have worked at Clemente over the years. So many of you are here tonight, which shows what awesome staff we have. You are some great human beings and some amazing educators. Clemente might be a zany place to work, but it's our zany place. So thank you for sharing this dream together with me. Thank you to Sarah Lanzo and Rich Gray for being a great music team, and to our new principal, Jeff Brown, for your support of our large program. Thank you to my friends and family that are here tonight, Diane, Heather, Susan, Tim, Jack, Jean, Butch. Thank you for the therapy, for the prayers, for clean laundry. Thank you for being proud of me and always encouraging me. And thank you, Melissa, for nominating me. Thank you for the time and the treasure and the talent that you pour into Clemente. You are making such a huge difference. And thank you for taking my weaknesses and turning them into triumphs. Most of all, thank you, God, for blessing me with talents and passion. May we never lose the wonder of life and the passion to make a difference. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations again to Paul Carr and Randy Levy. And thanks for the tremendous jobs you do in promoting arts education. To introduce the recipient of the Emerging Leader Award, please welcome Debbie Ellinghaus.
Hi. Jason Lowith's keen understanding of the regional theater industry and his innate leadership skills have brought vitality to the state's oldest theatrical venue. Jason has made theater as a producer, a director, a playwright, and a dramaturg in major cities all over our country, including New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and now Olney, where he was appointed artistic director of the Olney Theater Center in February 2013. Since Jason arrived, Olney Theater has received a record number 24 Helen Hayes Award nominations and 7 wins. Jason's influence is bringing nationally acclaimed artists, including several Pulitzer Prize finalists and Tony Award winners and nominees, to Olney to work. As a playwright, Jason has won Lucille Lortel, Outer Critics Circle, and Jeff Awards. He is a 3-time grantee from the NEA for Artistic Excellence, a recipient of support from the Rockefeller Map Fund and MacArthur's International Connections Fund, and a recipient of a TCG Theater Communications Group New Generations Future Leaders Grant. Help me welcome my friend and my colleague, Jason Lowith, to receive the well-deserved 2015 Emerging Leader Award.
Thank you so much, Debbie. That was so beautiful. I had no idea about all of that. I've been spending some time with my colleagues across the country the past week, and they are all so jealous that I get to make art in Montgomery County. They are, because we have a diverse and dynamic community, we have an inquisitive and engaged citizenry, and we have the most amazing, dedicated, and passionate advocates for the arts. Our extraordinary county executive, our inspiring First Lady, the council, the Arts and Humanities Council of Montgomery County, and she's not been thanked yet, but please join me in thanking Susan Jenkins, who has been a partner to me since I've gotten to this theater. It's really humbling, and it says a lot about the folks you chose to recognize, the patrons, the volunteers, the artists, and the educators. It says a lot about what you value and that you guys recognize that the arts are essential as roads and bridges and all the other things that connect us. And finally, I want to thank the number of people who are here from the staff and the board. You guys, I can't believe you came out. I'm humbled. I am so lucky to make work with each and every one of you every day. Thank you so much for that. I just returned from an arts mission to Cuba. I'm going to be really fast, where the 16th Annual Havana International Theater Festival was beginning. And I was struck by much of what I saw, of course, but nothing as significant as the way theater is a true crucible there, a burning place for the community to get together, to take all of its hopes and fears and dreams and meld them together into a performance that is shared between artist and audience. The show that kicked off the festival was an adaptation of a classic play that, in the hands of these artists, became a condemnation of a revolution gone terribly wrong. And at one point, the character sang this song, the words of which were Soñábamos el sueño mismo, un sueño de libertad. We used to dream the same dream, a dream of freedom. And the reprise of that song, when they sang it, the audience sang along quietly under their breath. It was an extremely moving moment, and that's the kind of impact I want our theater, I want Olney Theater to make. That's the interaction I hope our work will have in the community. And your faith and support in me and our theater, symbolized by this award, will help me do that. So thank you.
So blogging to me is a very American thing. Blogging means freedom.
I feel like I'm part of something important, and that's really important to me.
Being a local photographer, there are opportunities when I've photographed people or gone to events where they say, I've read your blog.
They want content, they're interested in good content, and they support you.
Have a passion? Blog about it at mymcmedia.org.
I felt the bite at age 16.
I felt the bite at age 4.
We've all felt the bite of Charcot-Marie Tooth, and we are fighting back.
Charcot-Marie Tooth is the most commonly inherited nerve disease. If you or a loved one has CMT, go to cmtausa.org and help take a bite out of CMT.
Thank you all for being here tonight. It's been an amazing evening. You've had an opportunity to see the incredible breadth of excellence in the arts and humanities in Montgomery County. And why not during this month, October? October is Arts and Humanities Month, and by presidential decree, all across America, communities are recognizing the arts and humanities, just as we are here tonight. And as a result, I'd like to welcome back to the stage County Executive Ike Leggett, who has something very, very special for us this evening.
Thank you very much. I know that you're all wondering why I'm back so soon, but it is to present this Arts and Humanities Proclamation. But I'm not going to read it all because I think you've heard it all in many of the things that you've heard people talk about this evening as it relates to arts and humanities in Montgomery County. I will therefore just read the last part of it, which simply says, therefore I, Isaiah Leggett as County Executive, hereby proclaim the month of October 2015 as Arts and Humanities Month in Montgomery County, and I urge all of our residents to join me in recognizing the value of the varied contributions that the arts and humanities make to the quality of life in Montgomery County. Congratulations.
Thank you. Before you go, County Executive, I'd like to tell you that I just came back from a national conference, Grantmakers in the Arts. We all were talking about our different communities, and there is none better funded, better supported than Montgomery County, and I just want to thank you. Thank you. One of the other things I want to mention is that because it's Arts and Humanities Month, we try to think about ways we could really promote the arts and humanities during this wonderful month. And so it's all about public-private partnerships. It's all about getting close to your community and getting to know the people who live and work here. We're very, very lucky to find a community partner in Plaza Artists Materials. I hope all of you do know about Plaza Artists Materials. They have several locations in Montgomery County, 3 to be exact, one in Silver Spring, one in Bethesda, and one in Rockville. And I'm mentioning them because we are very grateful that for the month of October, we came up with a great program with Plaza called Roundup for the Visual Arts. Their president, Eric Zelenko, is quite a fan of the visual arts, and when we approached him about the project, he was very open to the opportunity. And so during the month of October, if you shop at Plaza Artist Materials, every dollar you spend, you're asked if you want a roundup for the visual arts, and that funding is provided, that whatever is rounded up is provided to the Arts and Humanities Council, and that funding this year went to a visual artist who's making a photographic memory about her family and their impact in America. And so this kind of support from the community, this is an extra grant we were able to give as a result of that support, and your support of Plaza allows that to happen. So I hope you will consider doing that and visiting the arts and humanities in Montgomery County during October. It's really quite a critical time for the arts and humanities to be recognized, not only here, but all across America. So if you have family and friends that live in other communities, encourage them to go out and support live art, live literary readings, live poetry readings, live performance. Let me tell you that artists that I know all across America deeply appreciate you. And if you've heard it from them before, and they tell you, listen, I wouldn't be able to do this work if it weren't for you, the audience, I know for a fact that what you give and what they get, and vice versa, is so critically important to the work they do. So I hope that all of you have enjoyed this evening. Soon we'll hear a performance by a wonderful artist who received one of our Wheaton Cultural Grants, and I hope you'll have an opportunity to stay after the performance and enjoy our reception afterwards. And so, again, thank you all very, very, very much for your support this evening. And I do want to make one more mention before I leave the stage, and that is to someone who has provided these beautiful, beautiful awards that you've seen tonight. Haven't they been stupendous? Well, I want to thank Gary Rosenthal, who I see right there in the audience. Gary, if you would just stand, and thank you very, very much. Gary is very, very generous with the Arts and Humanities Council, and these awards are unique, one-of-a-kind awards that you won't see anywhere else. They're pretty stupendous. Well, I hope that the ladies behind the curtain will let me know that the time is right. And I guess it worked. So thank you all again from the deep depths of my heart for all that you do for the arts and humanities in Montgomery County. And now, without further ado, please welcome Alejandro Lucini and Orgem.
So now I'd like to introduce Councilmember Nancy Flory.
Thank you. Before I read the remarks here, I just want to say thank you all for being so cool. You make us look good. You make Montgomery County a vibrant and exciting place to be. You add to the depth and spirit of our souls here. And we're really, really grateful to you all for being part of our great county. And I will say thanks for not complaining about taxes too much. That helps fund a lot of these awards. With that, yes. These are the grants to individual artists and scholars and support the work of individual artists and scholars who reside in Montgomery County. For fiscal year 16, we have 25 grant awards in this category, totaling $71,786. Activities funded by these grants may focus on the creation of artistic or scholarly work or the development of professional skills. 25 artists received fiscal year 16 grants for such initiatives like the creation and staging of a production using the dance, vocabulary, lyrics, and music of South India, website design and development, the creation of a series of artworks based on cosmological concepts, the development of a collection of new work that preserves the ancient dance form of Sri Lankan traditional and folk dance, completion of a documentary that shares the lost, rich history of Quince Orchard, Maryland, and the completion of a collection of short stories set on the Texas-Mexico border. Artists will also use the funds to outfit a studio with proper lighting, to write and record a cello concerto, to record, mix, and master a new album of original 6-string electric cello music with ensemble accompaniment, to self-publish a fine arts quality photography portfolio, to research and perform an educational theater piece about the ecological importance of pollinators. We'll probably hear about that. To create a visual document of lives in a world before World War II. To produce and frame handmade gelatin silver photo collages. For a writing retreat, for a book about Ethiopian immigrants. To present a performance of historically recognized works of Beijing opera. To develop and present a non-traditional way to experience and share poetry. To produce an album of original compositions and reimagined African classics. To draft and revise a new play. To attend the 38th Annual Conference of the American Literary Translation Association. And to independently publish a graphic novel. These grants programs sustain the organizations and individuals that make the very fabric of our community. Isn't that the truth? And please join me in congratulating these phenomenal individual artists and scholars. Way to go!
As we confront the economic challenges facing our county and we look to comprehensive strategies to create jobs, catalyze innovation, and build new paths for growth, as you can see from the vast initiatives outlined tonight, the evidence is strong. The arts and humanities are a smart investment for Montgomery County with a huge return on investment. Congratulations to the county executive and county council alike and to all of our stakeholders for integrating the arts and design into strategies for revitalizing neighborhoods like Wheaton, using tax incentives to encourage private rehabilitation within communities where creative individuals and enterprises are cultivated, like in our 3 arts and entertainment districts, and for leveraging our public art program to assist in the activation of our public and urban centers to unite and engage the community. We are all the better as a result. Now to present our last 2 awards, please welcome back County Executive Ike Leggett and Mrs. Catherine Leggett.
Thank you. These are our last 2 awards. I would like to present the County Executive Lifetime Achievement Award to Millie Schott. Millie Schott's tireless efforts over a considerable career have helped to create the destination of Montgomery County as a hub and a destination for the visual arts. An extremely accomplished artist and an art educator, Millie was the visual arts director for the mansion at Strathmore for over 20 years, establishing the largest visual arts community in North Bethesda. Millie created thousands of arts exhibitions at Strathmore, giving the opportunity to local and international artists to exhibit their work. In addition to her art exhibitions, Millie Schott created many programs during her nearly 20 years at Strathmore, including art summer camps for kids, lectures, workshops, museum tours, senior arts programs, and arts festivals. Her art programs for youth opened the doors for many of them to pursue successful careers in the arts. This time, I'd like to present Millie Schott Lifetime Achievement Award. Congratulations.
Thank you all very much. This was a really big surprise when Catherine called me and said I had been honored to get this award, and I said, "You got to be kidding." And she said, "No, it was for real." I want to thank all my family that came from across the country and my friends locally who have come out to support this evening. I have just a few things to say about art. The beauty of art is that it allows you to be yourself as an individual and share your talents with others. Art brings people and communities together. Art is a universal language. I think we're all born with this inner creativity, and I continue to work with all age levels, bringing that creativity out and sharing it with the community. So I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to receive this award, and for all of you that came out to help us celebrate. Thanks. Thank you.
And our last award this evening is the Lifetime Impact Award, and it is presented to Dr. Joel Snyder. A lifelong resident of Montgomery County, Dr. Snyder is an internationally recognized advocate for the arts access on behalf of people who are either blind or have low vision. For 34 years, he has introduced audio descriptions to thousands of individuals in Montgomery County and literally around the world. Locally, he has made hundreds of live theater productions accessible to the visually impaired audience at a variety of venues throughout the area and around the country. He has developed tools that allow people who are blind to navigate and experience and exhibit independently at many institutions. In media, Dr. Snyder has used the same technique to enhance a host of broadcasts aired nationally each and every day that we see and we experience. Early in his career, Dr. Snyder was awarded a White House Point of Light, recognizing the breadth of his volunteer service in providing audio description for theater, video, and film on behalf of blind audiences. Dr. Snyder is a recipient of the Montgomery County Public Schools Distinguished Alumni Award and 2 Distinguished Service Awards from the National Endowment for the Arts. He was also named a Kentucky Colonel by the Governor of Kentucky for his contributions to the Access Program in the Kentucky Center for the Arts, and he was recently honored with the 2015 Access Award by the American Foundation for the Blind. Please join me in congratulating him for this very important award on behalf of the County Executive, myself, Lifetime Achievement Award and Lifetime Impact Award, Dr. Snyder. Please come forward.
Thank you, Mr. Leggett. And I also want to thank Catherine Leggett, our First Lady, who was so gracious in letting me know of this honor. And I also want to acknowledge, of course, the Leggett's own work to build the quality of life on behalf of all Montgomery County citizens. And a special thank you goes to my wife of 41 years. How'd that happen? Esther Geiger, who, who is a model for me for what it means to appreciate people of all abilities. A true story. A blind fellow was visiting a museum with some friends, and someone came up to him and said, "Excuse me, but what are you doing in a museum? You can't see any of the exhibits." Well, his response, "I'm here for the same reason anyone goes to a museum. I want to learn, I want to know, I want to be a part of our culture." And I believe that an individual's inability to see should never deny him or her access to our culture. There simply is no good reason why a person with a particular disability must also be culturally disadvantaged. So, attitudes need to change. Indeed, that person that confronted the gentleman, our friend in the museum, I think that person is the one with a serious disability. I call it attitudinal sclerosis, a hardening of the attitudes, you know? Yeah. One more quick anecdote. For six years, I led a group that produced audio description for Sesame Street, and I voiced the descriptive material for PBS. I was really quite heartened to receive a letter from an adult woman who has been blind from birth. She wrote to me, "I am a blind parent of a sighted child. We watch Sesame Street almost every day and especially enjoy the programming on the days when Sesame Street contains the audio description. I always enjoyed Sesame Street as a child myself, but I really find the production even more fun now that I can fully participate in the programming. My daughter and I can watch Sesame Street, and I'm never left wondering about the action of the characters. We can both laugh along together when Big Bird is searching for Ernie and Big Bird keeps bumping into a haystack. With the description, I can view the show with the same information that the sighted world is receiving." That's what audio description does. It goes a long way toward making culture more fully accessible to people who are blind and dispelling the notion that people who are blind are somehow less capable than most of us here. Most of us folks here, you know, folks who are dependent on light. Who's got the disability? Anyway, I want to emphasize the notion that description can build literacy and social engagement. In the United States today, people who are blind have an unemployment level of about 70%, 70. I am certain that with more meaningful access to our culture and its resources, people become more informed, more engaged with society, and more engaging individuals, and thus more employable. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the late Margaret Pfanstiel, the founder of Montgomery County's radio reading service, the Washington Ear. In 1981, Margaret began the world's first audio description service in response to a request from Arena Stage. And I was very fortunate to be able to be there at that point and work with Margaret and several others in establishing the Ear's audio description service. As a lifelong resident of Montgomery County, a former member of the county's Arts Council, and a longtime theater professional, it's especially gratifying to receive this award tonight. I feel very fortunate to live in a county where the arts are valued and supported. And finally, I have to say this. I want to dedicate this award to the memory of a very dear and longtime friend who left us early this morning, for 25 years, the host of WAMU's The Big Broadcast, Eddie Walker. Rest in peace, Eddie. Thank you.